Just a quick one, guys. We have released our brand new Liverpool Christmas merch drop. We have got the You'll Never Walk Alone, You Filthy Animal tees, along with the You'll Never Walk Alone Christmas tree tee. Do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or going to copyclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, in today's video, of course, we're going to be discussing the game yesterday. We're also going to be going through a bit on the weekend, whilst also going through the Europa League state of play, and then, of course, the exciting bit with regards to the transfer news. Yeah, quite a few bits and pieces to discuss. Of course, we were in action last night, and we did, the result did end in a defeat, of course, but it's not a game where I'm pissed off with losing. I was saying into the build-up, like many of you guys were, that I really couldn't have gave a rat's ass about that game. Again, it's not many games where you go and watch Liverpool that you don't care about the result, but that was one of them. We had already sealed our fate, top of the group. Europe's already parked up until March, and this was always a situation of just letting the players rest, get some players in there that don't necessarily play that often, rotate the squad to its fullest, and prepare for Manchester United. And again, we did do that. We fielded the youngest team, I think, in a Liverpool European history. I'll go through that said lineup. They did lose, of course, to 2-1 to Union Saint-Gilles, but again, as Jurgen Klopp says, who cares? It doesn't really matter. We know that's not our full 11 that we were playing. We know we weren't taking it that seriously, and all eyes are for that game against Manchester United in the Premier League. But as I just touched upon there, we did break a 53-year-old record with regards to younger players, and we did field our youngest lineup in European competition. So Kelleher was in goal. We had Chambers, Quansah, Konate and Bradley. So already there, the back four is unrecognisable, apart from maybe Konate. Jones played, Endo played, Elliott played, a bit more of a recognisable midfield, however not our best. Then Ben Doak came back, of course, from his injury, played Gakpo, and then Katie Gordon as well. Haven't seen that man's name in a long time. He was meant to be the next big thing coming back at Liverpool. He came and got his chance as well, which was also very good to see. Of course, we did go 1-0 down fairly early before we got our equaliser with Quansah, but then again shortly before the break the home side took the lead once more. But again, who cares? It was over. It's not a real representation of ourselves. It's not a real representation of our team, and as I said, I know that winning momentum plays a part, but I think at this point in the calendar, it's very important that, of course, we do rotate our squad, and I'm really glad that we did give players much needed rest going into it. Our Europa League group finishes with Liverpool at top, as we stated, and Toulouse finished second, Union Saint-Gilles finished third, and then Lask, of course, were eliminated and finished fourth. Of course, the Europa League knockouts have been concluded, and basically the teams that finish top of their group then going to go to the round of 16 with Liverpool are West Ham United, Brighton, Glasgow Rangers, Atalanta, Villarreal, Slavia Prague and Bayer Leverkusen. So some strong lineups there. So 3 English teams, 4 British teams, so British heavy down there in the last 16. The group runners-up, basically, we haven't played in the Europa League for a while, so for those of you that don't understand it, here's a quick dummies guide for it. So first place, as you know, goes straight to the round of 16, doesn't have to play. Then the group runners-up then go into a knockout round of playoffs, who will then take on a third-place Champions League team. Those sides will play off of each other in the old round of 32. The winners will then play a team from the round of 16. Liverpool, of course, be seeded, along with the sides that finish top of their group. The group runners-up were as follows: Freiburg, Marseille, Sparta Prague, Sporting Lisbon, Toulouse, Rennes, Roma and Qarabag. As for the third place teams from the Champions League, again, not really inferior names. We see Manchester United, Newcastle, all been eliminated from the actual European football. So Galatasaray joined third, Lens, Braga, Benfica, Feyenoord, AC Milan, Iber, or Young Boys known to some, and then Shakhtar Donetsk. Those are the sides that are dropping out from the Champions League, and as I said, those sides will sort of have a little free-for-all to see who's the better out of them. Then they'll take on Liverpool and the other sides in the last 16. So again, I don't think looking at any of those teams there's anyone to be really scared of, probably bar Bayer Leverkusen. I think at this moment in time, very good. Rangers, of course, do very well in the Europa League. West Ham have done well in European football over the recent years as well, but having a look at the sort of Premier League, you know, Liverpool are more than capable, of course, seeing off those sorts sorts of sides that within the division. AC Milan potentially down there from the Champions League, we'll have to see. But apart from that, there's no one really there that you have to be really scared of. It should be Liverpool's trophy in all seriousness. Liverpool, of course, did land a huge fees as well going through and navigating the group. So not as much as the Champions League, of course, but the money is stacking up as they have progressed to the round of 16. So yeah, European football's now parked up, and we'll get the draw for that a bit later on in February when the playoff round is concluded. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go into some transfer news. As I stated, guys, we are getting to that point of the year where we're hearing a lot about different players being linked to the football club, and I brought you a few players over the recent weeks, and as I said, I only listened to certain sources, and again, we've got another man that's being linked for today. As I stated, with Joel Matip's injury, a lot of players in terms of the defensive options or defensive positions are being linked to the football club, and as I said, I keep on saying it, whilst Jurgen Klopp does downplay the fact that we need a defender, with Joel Matip out, I don't think we're that naive. He's been around the game for a very, very long time. He knows what it takes to win titles, both in Germany and in England. I know that Jurgen Klopp is not that naive to think that he can go the remainder of the campaign without some defensive reinforcements into place in the January transfer window, which brings us to today's story. Reports out in Germany have said that Liverpool are heavily monitoring and are now following Piero Hincapié after a squad spot opened up. Hincapié, of course, plays for Bayer Leverkusen, and you might think actually, well, he's a 21-year-old, but has a very, 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 very high ceiling. Looks like a player is being monitored by loads of different teams throughout Europe as well, but with West Ham, AC Milan, Roma, other teams that are sort of interested in said player. However, currently Liverpool are also in the race and are looking to try and land him. The player could be available in January. As I stated, he doesn't play that much for Bayer Leverkusen. You may be wondering, Dan, why do we want a player that is not playing so much within there? Well, his versatility and his ceiling is ever so high. He's a player that's really, really fantastic. He's a full international as well, and only 21 years old, which 21 years old for a centre-back is very, 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 very young. They don't really come into their sort of peak of their powers until a bit later on in life, maybe like sort of mid-20s. And again, there's a relatively low release clause of around £60 million as well. I know that doesn't sound, it sounds quite a bit, but this sounds a bit of a business that Liverpool would do under Jorge Schmadtke. We have been recently sort of raiding that Bundesliga market. It's worked out fairly well as well, but certainly one to just keep an eye on. But reports out in Germany are stating Liverpool are monitoring the situation and could make a move, and he could be available as soon as January. So maybe one to watch there with regards to Hincapié. But Liverpool fans, that's all I've really got for you today. Do let me know your thoughts on the Europa League game yesterday, and then of course let me know your thoughts on Hincapié. Would he be a signing that you want to see at the football club this January? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comment section below. If not, I do want to know, what do we need to strengthen this January transfer window? What positions? How many players do we need to bring in? As I said, again, let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Remember, we have released our Liverpool merch Christmas drop, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or going to cobbyclothing.com. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.